Samsung's Galaxy S22 Ultra is a beast, and if you want the best smartphone around, this is it. But is it worth blowing your budget for? If you're like me, you know it's easy to get caught up in some good marketing and flashy specs, but what I'm really looking for in a phone is something that feels like a good deal. I don't want to pay too much, but I do want it to punch above its weight class. This means I want modern touches like subtle haptics, a punchy screen, good battery life, and of course, a solid camera. The S22 Ultra is all of these. It cuts no corners. It has every phone spec imaginable and all of Samsung's gimmicks packed into one, but do we really want or need a phone that costs more than the average computer? If you've been following along to my sort of perils on MobileSyrup.com, you know that I actually tried to cancel this pre-order for this S22. I actually bought it myself, but I kind of know that I can't afford an $1,800 phone in Canada. So I'm on my way to return it, and here's hoping they actually take it this time. When the phone arrived though, I was pretty excited to test it out since over the last few years I've only really used Samsung tablets, and while I found them okay, One UI never quite hit home for me. On the phone though, I like it a lot more. It's very cohesive, and what Samsung has been able to pull off is very pleasing. It even matches the OS's accent color to your wallpaper just like a Pixel, which is like my favorite feature ever. There are still too many features packed into this for anyone to actually use, but hey, if you want something niche done, the S22 Ultra likely has more than one way to do it. That being said, there are still some really annoying quirks. For instance, some Samsung apps in particular will wake up your display with notifications for seemingly no reason. Gmail, by comparison, will just subtly slide in a notification normally, just, putting an icon on the always-on display. It's just way too much, Samsung. This giant phone also felt better than I expected in my hands, with reassuring heft and comfortably rounded corners. I'm not usually a big fan of these waterfall-type screens, but Samsung nailed the form factor with the Note 20 Ultra, and it's just as solid here. I had a few mispresses when trying to reach around the screen, but with this subtle Spigen case that I've been using, it kind of feels like an old school PDA, and it's pretty awesome. And I would recommend actually using a case because it does get a little warm to the touch. I'm in a hurricane. Anyways, speaking of this phone being the size of a PDA, the S Pen is back this year too, and it's got a plethora of features, probably too many to mention, but I did like the cool gift creator, and I didn't like the nerdy air gestures that made me feel like the world's worst wizard. Although, it is kind of clicky, so you can use it as a fidget tool. You can click it in and out like that. And if you set it up appropriately, it can also be like an instant notepad, which is an amazing tool that justifies the use of the S Pen. I hate to say that one feature does it, but it kind of does. I wish that Samsung still had it to be the yellow color like a pencil like they did in the Note 10 Ultra, but I'm over it. It's here, it's handy, and that's about it. This phone is like the top dog when it comes to camera performance. I mean, 2 various zoom lenses, an ultra wide, and a 108 megapixel main sensor. Great night and great portrait modes. This is a really complete mobile camera package, and as I said in the intro, definitely doesn't cut any corners. I've been shooting with it for about 2 weeks, and man, oh man, it's really pulling stunning images out from around every corner with crisp details, and not a lot of phones hold up well on a 4K monitor. The S22 Ultra does better than most. I don't want to oversell it, it's not DSLR level most of the time, but it's very consistent and a versatile mobile camera system. Like, seriously, having a 10x optical zoom on a phone, it's a cheat code. Samsung also has a pretty unreal portrait mode too, and you can check out a full video on that to see how it stacks up against the iPhone up in one of these corners. Overall, its main competitor is the iPhone 13 Pro's camera system, and seriously, both phones are neck and neck. To sum it up, Samsung wins in the zoom department, so if you take a lot of pics, I think this is the dream, but the iPhone cinematic video still makes it more versatile for anyone that's doing, a hybrid system, and since I do video for part of my job, I think that's the iPhone. Alright, my original A-roll didn't work, so we're back. We're actually going to return the phone this time. We're outside of the Samsung store, somewhere over there in Toronto's Eaton Centre, but basically to sum it up, I just want to say this. Samsung's Galaxy S Ultra series seems to be pushing boundaries every year, and this time, I don't know, it just kind of feels like a new design, and it also kind of feels like an old design because it's a Note. Not that it's a bad thing, because the Galaxy S21 Ultra was an amazing phone, and by proxy this is too, and with the Note Pen it's even more capable, but it just doesn't feel revolutionary. So I think for most people, if you're looking for a cool Samsung phone, I would go fold or flip. I personally like the Flip 3, but on top of that, the the Galaxy S22 Plus is also a great option. Anyway, if you want to see a full review of the S22 Ultra, check a review somewhere over here. We've also got an unboxing, and subscribe to help us grow the channel and see more stuff like this. And, you know, cross your fingers because Samsung did not accept my cancellations. Let's hope they accept my return right before close.